Do you see these Carl Sagan books? See this Saturn V poster? See this Saturn V toy? Do you see this shuttle toy? This Blu-ray? See this coaster? This book? How about this jacket? Do you see this jacket? It's pretty obvious that I love astronomy and space exploration. My heroes are big-brained explorers and telescope-wielding juggernauts. My friend, who I don't talk to nearly enough, felt the need to message me the day No Man's Sky came out on the PC. I looked past the PC port warnings and focused on the line, "I thought of you," and thought this game was made for you. Intriguing. No Man's Sky was slightly on my radar, but I wasn't a part of the hype train. I didn't follow the news. All I knew about it was that it was a giant exploration game in space with procedurally generated stuff created by an indie developer, and that's about it. I am a big PC gamer. I don't usually enjoy single-player games. I don't usually enjoy single-player survival games. I don't usually enjoy single-player survival games that rely on crafting and inventory management. But the concept was intriguing. The trailer looked incredible. This is my No Man's Sky review. After putting 20 hours into No Man's Sky, defining the game isn't any easier. Yeah, you can boil it down to being a survival game, a mining simulator, a crafting extravaganza, an exploration game, but those simple labels don't do it justice. It's an experience, an introspective experience, an experience in isolation. Before I get into specifically what I like and what I don't like, I want you to take a look at this. I'm currently in the Gagarin system, which I named after the first man in space, of course. If I hit M, I'm taken to the galactic map. Let's zoom out. Every single star can be visited. You can seemingly fly forever looking at different star systems, looking for stars that have been discovered by other players. I have yet to find one that has been discovered. The galaxy is immense. Maybe one day they will all be discovered. There's no telling how long that would potentially take. That in itself blows my mind. No Man's Sky is definitely not a game for everyone. Let me make that perfectly clear with a loud yell. No Man's Sky is not for everyone! A lot of people expected Star Wars, and they got 2001: A Space Odyssey. You will probably never be able to play with a friend. You will probably never run into another player. This is a single-player experience set in a galaxy simulation. You know people are out there. They are out there, but you will most likely never cross paths. You start your journey on a planet. Your ship needs fuel and may need to be repaired. Your goal is to gather resources to successfully launch off your starting planet. I would suggest using your first planet as a place to give yourself a little tutorial of the game. The game kind of drops you off and lets you fend for yourself. There's a bit of guidance here and there, but for the most part, it's up to you to figure it all out. Use your analysis visor on your multi-tool to scan for points of interest and also life forms in the environment. When you analyze a life form, you can hop on over to the menu and give it a unique name. The name will be uploaded to the No Man's Sky server, database, computer, abacus, Rosetta Stone, thingamajig machine, and you will receive units, which is the in-game currency. And anyone who happens upon your discovery will see what you named it. Pretty neat. But is there a point other than it just being neat? The game encourages you to explore and discover by rewarding you for completing planets. If you discover every life form on the planet, you get a 100% on your test and are rewarded a good chunk of change. This is a cool concept, but where my disappointment lies is in the design of creatures. Yes, they are generated by an algorithmic computer deity.
Accept your robot overlord.
But there isn't much imagination in the designs themselves. Most creatures look like a mismatch of creatures you'd find on Earth. Walking on 4 legs, walking on 2 legs, bouncing like a rabbit, slithering like a snake, flying in the sky like a bird. They all look like they could have evolved on Earth, when in reality each planet's unique environment would dictate a creature's outcome, probably making them appear vastly different than what we here on Earth are used to. Is this a nitpicky, geeky gripe? Sure. But when you're playing for hours, you start to see the pattern. You start to see creatures that look the same, plants that look the same, flying life forms that look the same. The similarities in design kind of pull away from the idea of exploring a galaxy full of diverse species. Same goes for the fact that there aren't any variety in stars. No red giants, no pulsars, no neutron stars. There are no barren, lifeless planets. Planets are teeming with life and activity. I would love to land on a planet and discover that it is as desolate as our moon, but that has never happened for me. And from what I've read, it's never happened for anyone. The game has a thin veneer of variety, but it needs more. Inventory management is simple once you figure it out. Like I said earlier, I'm usually not a fan of crafting and inventory heavy games, but I enjoy this. Okay, so my launch thruster is depleted. I need to find some plutonium to refuel. Pull out your multi-tool and explore. Each planet has a different quantity of different elements. So you might find yourself searching for plutonium for a while if you're on a plutonium scarce world. Or you might need a different element to recharge a different piece of technology. I personally stock up heavily on resources that I know I will need. I have yet to run out of a necessary element that has left me stranded for an extended period of time. You can craft upgrades as well. Simply find the required resources and craft it. Once it is in your inventory, it is attached to that piece of technology. You'll eventually need to fuel your hyperdrive in order to travel into interstellar space and continue your journey, hopping from star system to star system, planet to planet, space station to space station. If you're thinking to yourself, man, this sounds repetitive as shit, well, you'd be right. It is repetitive. Hell, there are 18 quintillion planets that you can explore in this game. 18 quintillion planets with life forms to discover. 18 quintillion planets to mine and walk around on. Yeah, that's repetitive. But the repetition is satisfying and strangely relaxing. Blasting off of a planet and leaving it behind forever is kind of a surreal experience. Looking back at a planet and seeing that you discovered it on this month, day, year, and time, well, that's pretty unique in gaming. And that's the appeal of No Man's Sky. Most of us find the pursuit of exploration and finding new places fascinating, and this game does a good job feeding that romantic idea. What's the point of the game? That seems to be the #1 question surrounding No Man's Sky, and it's hard to say. It seems to me that the developers, Hello Games, want you to find the point of the game. It almost feels like one big metaphor for life. Everyone is always searching for the meaning of life, the point of it all, the purpose for existing. It's not clearly defined. There is no external purpose. There is no grand point. We create the purpose as individuals. We find what makes us happy, a goal to achieve, something to look forward to, a path that brings us joy. And in that, we create the point of it all as human avatars on Earth just trying to get by. Purpose isn't clearly defined in life, and it's not clearly defined in No Man's Sky. Do you think that's a little too heady for a game? Well, god damn it, didn't I say this game wasn't for everyone? There are sentinels on each planet. Think of them like robots who protect wildlife and resources, like robot park rangers. The sentinels act different on each planet. Sometimes they are docile and other times they are frenzied. If you extract too many resources or attack too many creatures, they'll come after you. Are the sentinels hard to beat? No. Are they a nuisance? Yes. Do I like them being in the game? No. I don't really see the point of them being on every single planet. Maybe one here and there. But am I to believe that every single planet is inhabited and every single planet is being monitored by sentinels? The music is incredible. It's a mix of ambient soundscapes with piano, drums, guitar, electronic melodies. It's just fantastic. The band that created the soundtrack is called 65 Days of Static. I listen to this type of music all the time when I'm working on a project. Bands like Hammock and the Album Leaf are some of my favorites, and now I have a new band to toss into the mix, 65 Days of Static. It is perfect music for exploring the galaxy to. It's soothing, relaxing. The music chimes in certain points of discovery, danger, and moments of awe. It is one of my favorite things about this game, and something that actually pulls me in and makes me want to fire up the game over and over again. There is a clearly defined goal in No Man's Sky. Your objective is to reach the center of the galaxy, the bulge, the galactic center. What lies in the center? I don't know. I'm too busy being a completionist and playing at my own pace. I'm actually not concerned about getting to the destination. I'm enjoying the journey too much. I'll get there eventually, when I feel like it. No Man's Sky is hard to define. It has a number of flaws, but it is a marvel, a huge achievement. Is it worth a full price tag of $60? I cannot answer that for you, but it is worth it to me. It's the type of game that I have been wanting for a long time. One that actually touches me on an emotional level. One that fills me with a sense of discovery and desire to explore. I see No Man's Sky as the first generation of games like this. It's a stepping stone, a test bed for what's to come. We've simulated cities in games, and sometimes full planets, but now we're simulating galaxies. It will get better and better. Soon, we'll be simulating an entire universe. And hey, maybe you're living in that simulation right now.
Always with you, what cannot be done.
It's like doing here